Jordan Shaver, Olentangy Local Schools in Lewis Center, Ohio. Right now we have over 6,000 clients in FileWave. We have Macs and PCs, Windows clients. We have over 500 iOS devices. We manage all those with FileWave. There's been talks about going to a one-to-one initiative. We purchased FileWave 2 years ago and did a slow switch over. First we had to deploy the client. Once they came back, we started testing, different file sets to see, if they would work in what environment. After about 6 months, we really started, using the kiosk a lot, really getting file sets sent out. And at that time, working on, sending apps with the iOS devices. And that's really worked out great on both ends. We've had some times where testing has come up, typically a test that we found out a week ago that we really need to get their testing software, that the piece they need to use, whether it's a secure browser or something like that. It's something that we could push out instantly, where typically they would have to wait, or we'd have to get a crew over there, right away, where we can quickly create that file set and deploy it out. Definitely started going towards online tests in the last year, so it's really been handy. I would say the iOS side, to be able to manage in a console different apps that are out there, and to be able to push them out and redeem them on that client, but then also to unredeem them, if it needs to go on a different device. So the iOS, and be able to check out the inventory, see which ones are enrolled, unenrolled. So it's a really nice inventory piece that's connected to that. Probably our favorite end, but then the client end is really nice too. I'd say the imaging feature, it's really intriguing to be able to image straight from the FileWave console. It's really becoming that, one management piece that we look for, instead of using multiple systems that do multiple jobs. You can just use one system, and the imaging is something we've always struggled with in the past, and really looking forward to that new feature. I would say being able to get the software on the students' iOS devices or PCs or Macs instantly, without having to change the teacher's agenda for the day, having to wait for software to be able to get it out there, and then having the tools to start their lecture or their class that they need. I would say makes an impact. A big feature in FileWave is to be able to deploy a piece of software. If a student shuts the lid, it kind of puts it in a pause mode, where as soon as that student the next day opens up their lid, it'll finish the deployment, where any other software that you would use, you would have to do it all over again. So I mean, that's a huge piece. The iOS side, just being able to manage all those apps and download them from the store easily and keep track of those is huge. I would say the ease of use of the product. When we first purchased FileWave, or we're looking to purchase FileWave, they said, try it, and we were kind of skeptical about whether it would work, and it worked as they said it would, and that was a huge piece for us. The online state testing, we have park assessment that's coming up in a few years, but to be able to deploy that software and not have to run to those machines, get them ready, and a student deleting it a day later, the next time that computer restarts, it's going to come back. FileWave has a feature that you can deactivate software and then reactivate it at some time. To prevent that is huge, because some of that testing software they'll never use during the year, until they need it at that time. It's going to definitely come in handy when the time comes. The way you use the kiosk, you can kind of be creative. It seems like, most people I've talked to, they always have their own way of using the kiosk. It's not something that you can just put, a piece of software for a student to download. You could use, PDF, different links, bookmarks. In our district, we have a teacher machine and a student machine, and when we go to put software on it, the teachers swap them all the time. So what we put, a machine that's supposed to have teacher software, is now the student's machine. So we put the software in the kiosk, so the teacher comes in, she knows what computer she's going to be using, and she can download that software at that time.